namaskar, vanakkam. I hope all of you are doing well. I am calling this the 1, 2, 3 video, and you will know why I am titling it the 1, 2, 3 video. Now, if there is one month in the entire calendar that is like a banana peel, a kele ka chilka, it is the month of October. And that's because you see two major festivals that invariably fall in the month of October. You have Dashera, and if you talk about the entire Navratri period, you have a 10-day holiday period, right? In many parts of India. And then after 20 days comes Diwali. This year as well, in 2022, you have Dashera falling on the 5th of October, followed by Diwali on the 25th of October. So the question is, what should students of class 9, 10, 11, 12, especially class 10 and 12, who are going to appear in the board examinations of 2023, do in the month of October? That's what this video is all about. And I will make broadly 3 odd points. Please realize that the moment you step into October, the countdown to the board examinations has practically begun, because April to September ka pehla half, the first 6 months of the academic calendar is history. Okay, is behind you. अभी वहां नहीं जा सकते. अभी आपके पास सिर्फ अक्टूबर, नवंबर, दिसंबर और जनवरी है. फरवरी को तो काउंट ही नहीं करना है, because obviously February is only the month to do the final fine tuning, right? If you go out for a trip, just when you are leaving for the trip, the last 10 minutes before you're getting into your car, what do? You check whether the air pressure is okay, whether the coolant mein pani hai ya nahi, whether the engine oil is okay or not, whether the petrol is filled or not, right? At that time, you don't take out the car jack and take out the wheel at that time, do you? You don't, right? You only check the final things that, okay, if everything is okay, we will start on our journey. February is that month. You do not start studying in the month of February. It is only to fine tune the loose ends. Okay, so we are talking only about October, November, December and January. कितने दिन हुए? 31 दिन of October, 30 days of November, 31 days of December and 31 days of January. Total it 1, 2, 3. And that's why the 1, 2, 3 strategy. You have exactly 123 days to make your mark in the board examinations of 2023. Now, once you have realized that, let's move on to point number 2. Now, most schools conduct at least 2 pre-board examinations. Okay, it may happen in December and the next one in January. There are some schools which conduct as many as 3, which means it could happen one in November, December and January, one every month, so that you keep the students on their toes. At least exams ke liye to padhenge. Okay, now many students, many of your seniors may tell you, अरे pre-board examination में कुछ नहीं रखा, इसके marks थोड़ी total होते हैं. Okay, इसके marks थोड़ी include होते हैं, पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. Ask them to go and take a walk. जाके आइसक्रीम खाने को बोलो. Okay, you make your own buffet. Okay, you need to prepare, because the pre-board examinations are like trial matches. They are like trial matches. इसमें गलतियां करो, और गलतियां होनी चाहिए. I don't want everyone to get 100% marks. You should make mistakes so that you learn from those mistakes. जो भी गलतियां करो उसको अलग से एक नोटबुक में रख लो, उसको रिविजिट करो, ताकि फिर से दोबारा वो गलती अगले प्री बोर्ड एग्जामिनेशन में ना हो, और डेफिनेटली एक बोर्ड एग्जामिनेशन में तो बिल्कुल ना हो. That is something which you need to do as a matter of habit. Okay. Now, irrespective of whether you do well or not do well, or whether you take pre-board examinations or not take pre-board examinations seriously, you cannot afford to ignore this month of October, because this is the month where you will have the maximum number of distractions. Diwali par patake, sweets, shopping, movies, pandal hopping during Dashera. In the case of South India, Navratri Golu, visits to other homes, India-Pakistan cricket match on the 23rd of October, and of course the World Cup also being played during this month. So distractions galore. How do you manage? How do you manage to focus on what you need to do? Okay, इसके बारे में specifically let's talk. How do you do that? You need to tell yourself कि मेरा वर्ल्ड कप तो फरवरी 2023 में खेला जाएगा, तो इस वर्ल्ड कप से मैं क्या करूंगा? यहां पर जो मूवीज रिलीज होंगी ये तो मैं मार्च अप्रैल के बाद भी देख सकता हूं. Okay, they are not going to go away. You can see them later on any OTT platform. Your World Cup depends on how well you play. It doesn't depend on how well Kohli plays or how well Bumrah bowls. है ना? Right? So what you need to do is what you need to focus on. You could take a day off to celebrate Diwali, no harm. I mean, it's perfectly all right. You could take a day off to celebrate even Dashera, no harm, no problem. But beyond 2 days, don't have the luxury of saying कि मैं एक हफ्ता मस्ती करने वाला हूं. You do not have that luxury. Irrespective of how good your preparation is, irrespective of how well you have done in the September half-yearly examinations. Okay. What you need to do is to set aside 4 hours of self-study time. And my recommendation to you would be that these 4 hours में से 2 घंटे should be in the morning, 5 to 7 ideally. It's not very cold even in North India now, so the मौसम will be pretty good for you to get up in the morning at 4:45, get ready, 5 बजे बैठ जाओ, 7 बजे तक कमरे से बाहर नहीं निकलो. So that before the world has woken up, you already have a head start. Isn't that a fantastic idea? You should have that head start by studying 2 hours in the morning. Then you can have 1 hour in the afternoon, 1 hour in the evening. You still have 4 hours of self-study. I'm not talking about project work, assignment work, homework, etc., etc. Self-study. And even this self-study, I'll tell you what you need to break it down further. Okay, that is one thing. Set a timetable for every 3 days. I am not saying 15 दिन का timetable set करो. No. Every 3 days का. You say this is my target for the next 3 days. Okay. Within that, you every subject make a division. Let's say history civics for example. आपने 70% of the syllabus पहले पढ़ा हुआ है. Assuming that आपके स्कूल में पूरा syllabus cover हो चुका है. काफी स्कूलों में हो भी चुका है. I don't know how, but they have managed to do that. Okay. Let's assume that आपने 70%, 70% of the syllabus पहले पढ़ा है, 30% आपने बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ा है. So what you need to do is that out of the 4 hours, whichever subject you decide to study, 70% of those 4 hours, that is 3 out of those 4 hours, roughly devote to revision of that 70%, ताकि उस 70% को आप further reinforce करें अच्छी तरह से. बाकी का 1 घंटा आप नया पढ़ें जो कि आपने अभी तक नहीं पढ़ा है. ओके, ये शेड्यूल रहेगा पहले 15 दिन के लिए, अक्टूबर 1 से अक्टूबर 15 तक. अक्टूबर 1 to October 15, I want you to follow this routine of a 75-25 or 70-30 kind of routine. That 70% revise, 30% fresh study which you have not touched before. There would be subjects, there would be chapters. Let's say world history you have not studied at all. Let's assume in physics you have not studied sound and electricity at all. That will come in the 1 hour. But you have studied light ka chapter before, right? You do it in the first 3 hours. Revise it on a particular day. Okay? Next day numerical solve karo. So that you constantly go back to it. Okay? And the more times you do it, वो अच्छी तरह हो जाएगा. At least pre-board examination में light chapter में से ऐसी लाइट निकालेंगे. ओके, साउंड और इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, देन यू कैन रिवाइज इट लेटर. सेकेंड हाफ ऑफ अक्टूबर, बिटवीन October 16 and October 31, what you need to do is to make it 50-50. 2 घंटे रिवाइज करो एंड 2 घंटे you devote to fresh study. Fresh study maybe. Now in this revision also, it will include portion which you have studied in the first 15 days for the first time. Chapters like sound and electricity, जिसका example मैंने दिया, या world history का, right? So you make that as part of the 2 hours. अभी 2 घंटे, अगर आपका syllabus अभी भी काफी बाकी है, so make that into 2 hours. लेकिन अगर आपको लगता है that you have managed to cover a lot of portion, then you can make again the same 3 hours to 1 hour ratio of revision to fresh study. Depends entirely on you. You need to be dynamic. Your study table need not be the same as your friend's study table. It depends on what your schedule is, how much ground you have covered, and depending on that, your study schedule should be made. But broadly, this is the kind of a discipline that you need to get into. The discipline you need to get into so that आप every day target set करके रात को जब आप सोएं 11 बजे 12 बजे जितने बजे भी आप सोएं, okay, you need to think that okay, I did well today. मैंने ये target set किए थे, I achieved all my targets, or I did not achieve my target, tomorrow I will devote another half hour to ensure that I don't lag behind. But every 3 days, ensure that you meet your targets. Monday to Wednesday, Thursday to Saturday, Sunday should be the day when you study 1 hour more, 5 hours, and also revisit what all you have done during the week. कि just to test, ट्यूसडे को जो मैंने चैप्टर पढ़ा था वो मेरे को याद है नहीं, लेट मी जस्ट डू सम क्वेश्चंस, टेस्ट पेपर सॉल्व कीजिए संडे को, ताकि आप उस दिन चेक कर सकें कि मेरे को कितना रिटेंशन हुआ है. जो भी रिटेन नहीं हुआ है, जस्ट रिविजिट दैट. तो संडे शुड बी द सुपर रिविजन डे, the super revision day of things which you have studied during the week, and whether you have been able to retain that or not, usko aap test kijiye. Okay, that is something which you need to do. December, mid-December approximately, because generally the rule is that 60 days before the examination is when the date sheet timetable is announced, okay, of your examination, board examination. So we can expect the date sheet to be out sometime around 15th, 20th of December, around mid-December, right? Once the date sheet comes out, trust me, panic sets in. तब लगेगा अरे मैंने तो अभी 90% ऑफ द सिलेबस को ठीक से पढ़ा भी नहीं है, अभी मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ गया, अरे नोट्स कहां से आएंगे बाबू, नोट्स को ढूंढते हैं. उस समय पर डोंट डू ऑल दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. अभी से लग जाओ, दिस इज माई मटेरियल फ्रॉम वेयर आई नीड टू स्टडी, आई हैव दिस डाउट्स, आई विल गो टू दिस टीचर, आई विल गेट ऑल माई डाउट्स सॉल्व. You need to be very clear about those things. So don't wait till mid-December for panic to set in. Okay, so that is something which you need to do. Dussehra is really the festival of celebration of good over evil, positivity over negativity. The negativity kya hogi? Negativity hogi laziness, alas. So kill the negativity of laziness and alas in yourself and ensure that your determination this Dussehra, this Diwali, this October wins the day for you when you get into the battlefield in the months of February and March. Okay, so that is how you need to be ahead of your race, but that will happen only if you use the 31 days of October. The countdown to 1, 2, 3 begins on the 1st of October, and you need to make good use of that. The first 31 days matter a lot because they are the most challenging as well. All the best to you. God bless you. Thank you very much.